Okay, today we are looking at a new program with questions in it, and it's called Jacob's Ladder. And the story that we're going to be talking about this week is Sylvester and the Magic Pebble by William Steig. So there's my copy. And if you have a copy of Sylvester and the Magic Pebble, you want that out. You want to make sure you have this paper out. And you want to make sure that you have some sheets of lined paper like this that are wide ruled, and of course a pencil. So go ahead and hit pause if you need to get those things, and then come right back. Okay, so when you climb a ladder, if you're going to climb a ladder, where would you start? Can you start climbing a ladder at the top? Is that going to work? No, you can climb down a ladder, but if you're climbing up a ladder, you have to start at the bottom. And so when we're doing Jacob's Ladder, we kind of answer the questions differently. We start at the bottom of the page. See how number 1 is down here? And we work our way up. Okay. Now, these are kind of tricky questions. That's why I'm going to walk you through them, and we're going to go over them together. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay. Put your name on the paper and the date. Whatever the date is at your house. And what I want you to do is look at your copy of Sylvester and the Magic Pebble if you have it. If not, just make sure you're listening. And we're going to look at number 1. Okay, so take a look at what number 1 says. It says, what details does the author share about the passage of time from when Sylvester becomes a rock to when his parents discover him? Okay, so details mean we're looking for parts in the story, all right, that show the passage of time. So underline that, okay, that show time is passing. Now, it's not the whole story. They want us to look at how time is passing from when Sylvester becomes a rock to when his parents discover him. Okay. So we need to find in the story where Sylvester becomes a rock. All right. So let's do that first. Okay. So I know you just listened to the story, and it looks like here on page 8, okay, that's where he meets the lion. And he gets scared. And sometimes when you get scared, your brain starts thinking really fast, and sometimes you might not make the best decision. And that's kind of what happened here with Sylvester. He's scared, and he's trying to think of what he could wish for, but he was panicking and he couldn't think carefully. It says it right here. So he says, what? I wish I were a rock. So he just kind of blurts out the first thing that pops in his head, and he becomes a rock. So now, as we move to the next page, we're going to find where William Steig is showing the passage of time. So, here we go. I'm going to read it to you, and we're also going to make sure we're looking at the pictures because those are going to be big clues. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, with the magic pebble lying right beside him on the ground, and he was unable to pick it up. Oh, how I wish I were myself again, he thought. But nothing happened. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work. But there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that his only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and a wish that the rock next to it would be a donkey. Someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny. But what on earth would make them wish that a rock were a donkey? The chance was 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. So how has William Steig shown the passage of time, that time has passed on this page? Okay. Well, our clue is in the pictures, and it's also right here. Okay. It says Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. So we're not going to write on this page yet. Okay, we're going to start on this lined paper first. And on the top of the lined paper, you can put your name. And I want you to put B. Okay, this is Jacob's letter B. They all have different alphabet letters, and there isn't an alphabet letter that goes with every story. So just put B and then put 1, because this is question 1. Okay, so first off, what detail do we see here? What has happened? All right, well, night came. So we're just going to write night came. And the picture shows a night sky. So just put night came, and in the picture or the illustration, there is a night sky. Okay, we're just making some little notes, some little dash facts. Oh, that glare is so bad. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something about the glare. Okay, so in the illustration or the picture, we have the night sky, and also Sylvester fell asleep. So we're just writing down some quick little notes. Okay, we're not really worried about complete sentences. We're just writing down the few things that we see. All right, so have those little things down, those clues. Now we're going to move to the next page, and we are going to look at the passage of time here. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan paced the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be? They stayed up all night wondering what had happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by morning. But he didn't, of course. Mrs. Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her, to calm her. Both longed to have their dear son with them. "I will never scold Sylvester again as long as I live," said Mrs. Duncan, "no matter what he does." At dawn, they went about inquiring of all the neighbors. So on this page, we have the sun coming up, okay, so that it's dawn. So it's been one night, and now it is morning. It is dawn. So we can put that down, and we can even put on this, I didn't think about this before, but we can do like page 12 to 13, okay, in the pictures, in the illustrations. So put in the illustrations, we have night, and then we have changes to dawn. Okay, so the sun comes up. Okay? Okay, let's keep going. They talked to all the children, the puppies, the kittens, the colts, the piglets. No one had seen Sylvester since the day before yesterday. Okay, so that tells us time has passed. They went to the police. The police could not find their child. Okay, so they talked to people. So on page 14 to 15, okay, they talked to people. And people were saying, "Oh, we haven't seen him since the day before yesterday." So not yesterday, but the day before that. Okay. And they talked to the police. Let's keep going. All the dogs in Oatsdale went searching for him. They sniffed behind every rock and tree and blade of grass, into every nook and gully of the neighborhood and beyond, but found not a scent of him. They sniffed the rock on Strawberry Hill, but it smelled like a rock. It didn't smell like Sylvester. Right? So it tells us that the dogs went sniffing all over the place, but this page doesn't really tell us about the passage of time because we don't know how long they've been sniffing. All right, so we're just going to keep moving on. After a month of searching the same places over and over again, and inquiring, that means asking, of the same animals over and over again, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan no longer knew what to do. They concluded that something dreadful must have happened and that they would probably never see their son again, though all the time he was less than a mile away. They tried their best to be happy, to go about their usual ways, but their usual ways included Sylvester, and they were always reminded of him. They were miserable. Life had no meaning for them any more. All right, we're going to run out of video here, so you're going to want to click on Sylvester and the Magic Pebble Part 2. This is Part 1. But on this page, we need to notice that it says a month. So they've been searching a month. So add that to your page. Page 18. They've been searching a month. And I'll see you in a minute.